Hey everyone, it's Kenji. I'm at home and I'm going to show you how to make a French omelet with Cascadian truffles. So, my hair is getting really long. Alright, so the other day, a couple days ago, I went truffle hunting for the first time in my life with a woman named Sunny Diaz. She took us out to her secret location along with fellow YouTuber Bob Appetit, Bob and his friend Tanya, and we all went truffle hunting a few days ago. And I didn't really know that there were truffles in the Pacific Northwest. I'd heard of them, but I'd never had really fantastic American truffles, and so it's just mind-blowing how nice these smell. So her dog Stella could smell these from like 40 feet away, and then she would go sprinting over, start digging around a little bit, and then sort of just expose the top of the truffle so that you can then go and pick it up. So super well-trained dog. Anyhow, Stella, Sunny told me that she always stores her truffles in with her eggs because they absorb some of the aroma, so that's what I'm doing. Anyhow, so I'm going to make an omelet with truffles in it. I'll show you how I do that. So this will be sort of your classic French omelet, which is sort of very soft curds. All right, egg. And no color on the outside. The one that you can find a much better video of Jacques Pepin doing it than I'm going to do here. But I do it my way, and it generally works. Poke the eggs a little bit. Pinch of salt. Not too much salt at the beginning. And then some butter. So I'll probably use, I think this is like 2 tablespoons of butter, which is what I'll use for these 3 eggs. Maybe I'll use a little bit less than that, but a good amount of butter. French omelets are pretty rich. You would often, you could eat them for dinner. This is the kind of thing you can eat for dinner with a little salad on the side. And in fact, it's afternoon right now, so we're probably going to eat this for lunch. All right, so butter in here. And what I'm going to do, so when I get a flat surface to shave, and those trimmings, I don't want to waste them, so the trimmings I will mix into my egg mixture. One of the things with truffles is you don't want to overheat it, and you definitely don't want to give it like real prolonged cooking. God, look at that texture there. You don't want to give it prolonged cooking because the aroma dissipates very fast. It's very volatile. One of the things that makes it smell so nice. Sorry, the camera fell. One of the things that makes it taste so nice is that it's all the aroma. It doesn't really taste like much on its own. It just has a very powerful aroma, and that aroma is so powerful because those aromatic compounds are so volatile. So they're very intense, but they're pretty short-lived. So you don't want to prolong cooking with truffles. You want to go from slicing it to enjoying it as quickly as possible. All right, so truffles going in there. I'm gonna beat this all. I gotta get my pan going. So you saw me use this technique maybe in a scrambled egg video I did with the New York Times. So what I do is I put a little bit of water in my skillet as I'm preheating it, and that water, actually I can use a little bit less than that, but that water will sort of regulate the temperature of the pan, because as long as there's water in there, it's going to be sucking up energy from the pan surface and using it to evaporate. So you'll know that by the time the water just finishes evaporating, that the pan is about 100 degrees Celsius. Or even if you're at altitude, it's still a good indication, because what you really want is for your butter to start immediately foaming, because that's what's going to help your eggs not stick when you stick them in. But you don't want your butter to start browning. So that's why you really want that sort of precise temperature range for a pan when you're making an omelet, or when you're making, more like sort of French-style scrambled egg as well. Because that's when the pan is just hot enough to make the butter immediately start foaming. So whether you're at sea level or at altitude, it will work exactly the same way, because it's all based on the boiling temperature of water. Now, one thing you're going to note, I am going to use a fork in a nonstick skillet, and I just want to show you, as I'm doing it, I'm not going to actually touch the bottom of the skillet. So I don't worry too much about damaging it. These skillets I love, by the way. They are, I think they're what brand are they? Cook Standard or something like that. But they're from the restaurant. They're restaurant style aluminum. I think about $40. They're sort of indestructible. I think they're much better than the more expensive ones you might find in the market now. All right, so my last bit of butter going in. You can see it immediately starts foaming and melting, but it's not browning yet, which is perfect. Exactly what we want. Okay, and my egg mixture. Get it all in there. All right. Now here's the part you can't stop moving. So you see I'm using my fork, but I'm not actually scraping the bottom of the skillet. I'm keeping it kind of floating above the bottom of the skillet. But the goal here is to break it up into really fine curds. And by the way, you don't have to use all that butter, of course. You know, it's pretty decadent this way, which I think also goes nicely with the truffles. But yeah, you don't have to use all that butter. And this is also over relatively high heat. Not very gentle at all. But that's why you sort of have to keep it moving like this. All right, and you want it to stay sort of pretty loose. That looks about right. Okay. Bang it away from you. Okay, and then run your fork very gently around the edges so that you don't scratch your pan. Okay. And then get a towel and just bang it right here. And you'll see the back lip start to come up like that. Oh, yep. Oh, hang on a second. I'm sorry, my daughter had to pass through to go pee at a very inopportune moment, but you get the idea. So you're banging it here, and that causes it to slide forward along the pan that way. And it's at this point, actually, mine is probably a little overcooked because I had to wait for my daughter to pass. I always blame it on the kid, right? But it should generally fold more easily than that because it'll be a little... Sorry, my daughter passed through again. So you invert it and then kind of tip it all out. And then after that, oops, dropped a little. You can sort of, with the back of your fork, reshape it a little. And then I'm going to split this open. Yummy. I'll do this other thing. Just a little final kiss of butter. Give it some shine. All right. A little more salt. I don't know where my coarse. I think my coarse salt's in the other room where my daughter is watching The Never-Ending Story 2. All right. Salt on at the end. And now the best part. We're gonna adjust our truffle slicer. So with truffles, you really want to get them sort of razor thin. So having a truffle slicer like this is kind of essential. These Cascadian truffles, by the way, have a sort of much sort of fruitier, lighter aroma, sort of a slightly more sort of fermented, you know, like umami aroma than the Perigord kind. And like I said, you want to eat your truffles as soon as you can, which is why you probably shouldn't stop to take a picture of them, but I'm gonna, because I want to have a thumbnail for this thing. I think that's the one. All right. Man, it's... Yeah, I know. I mean, I know this is a very sort of inaccessible video. But if you happen to get a chance to taste Cascadian truffles, if you're in the Pacific Northwest and you're at a sort of fancy restaurant or something, Or maybe you know someone who does truffle tours. Sunny, she does truffle tours, although she's not doing them this year. This was a fundraiser thing that we were doing this for. But yeah, if you have a way to taste them, I would highly recommend it. Really good. Here. Let's shop. Shop at the best fed dog in the world. Good girl. All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, it's Kenji. There are 22 million kids in this country that rely on school lunches for nutritious meals. And with schools closed now more than ever, organizations like No Kid Hungry can use their support. So I'm asking you to join me. Click the link in the description below to donate some money. No amount is too small or too big. Thank you very much and stay safe. Bye-bye.